But for me, looking at anything from a Jungian perspective must relate the topic that you're looking at to the process that Jung called individuation. Jung's method of treatment, Jung's psychology was very practical. And everything that Jung studied, everything that he wrote was dedicated to facilitating the process that he called individuation, which was the goal of inner work. So when we take a Jungian perspective, we're going to be looking at the tarot in terms of how it facilitates or elucidates the process of individuation. So just by using the tarot, we are learning about the way our psyches work, and we're becoming more and more of the actual people that we are. So when we look at the symbolism of the tarot, we are going to be looking at it in terms of how it contributes to individuation. This doesn't mean that we're not going to use the tarot as a form of divination, and we'll talk about what divination actually means. But we are always doing this in the service of individuation, and that is a particular term that Jung coined, and individuation is considered the goal, and it's really made up of two sort of component parts. The word in, which means undivided, the prefix in, and then the root word dividuation, which means divided. And so the process of individuation is a process whereby we become more and more undivided. Jung said that we start out as individuals. We are divided in ourselves. This isn't anything pathological. It's simply the way we're made. I have complexes, I have impulses, I have drives, I have fantasies, all of which take energy, take attention. And so it is a real piece of work to bring all of those parts together. And that's what we're talking about when we talk about individuation. We're trying to become individuals. Individuation is a process that's never completed, but it's also a process that you can't evade. There's no special way to do it. Life will do it for you. And when we work with the tarot, like exploring dreams or synchronicities, we are using it to further the process of individuation. A little bit more about individuation. Individuation is the goal of any inner work. So whether we're using the tarot, following our dreams, reflecting on interactions with others that may have gone well or may be problematic, all of these are ways that we do inner work. Inner work is really the process of life. Individuation is the process of life. People often say, well, do I have to be in therapy? Do I have to be in analysis to individuate? Absolutely not. Life is doing it for all of us every moment. Dedicated inner work, whether it's through analytic work, working with the tarot, working with dreams, this can facilitate it. It can make it smoother. It can sort of ease the bumps in the road, but it's going to happen. And in particular, individuation is the work of holding the tension between apparent opposites. The opposites, for example, between my conscious mind and the unconscious. The opposite of the personal desire or my personal perspective and the collective in which I exist. Individuation doesn't mean that we're all by ourselves off in a hermitage somewhere. Individuation means in this very life, with all of the people around us, can we work to sustain a sense of cohesion while we go through our life? The polarity between I and thou is also something that individuation facilitates. Because the more I can be who I am, the more I'm able to relate to other people in an honest and open way. So, what happens when we consult the tarot? And how does that work to facilitate individuation?